Police chief says disorder in Northern Ireland is absolutely race motivated. Yeah, because Romanians are definitely a different race from people from Northern Ireland. Apparently, that seems to be the crack these days, eh? I didn't realise that the chief of police was not one drop 1940s German purist, because, funny old thing, I always assumed Romanians were the same race as me. But apparently not. Apparently not. They decide what race you are because your politics determines that, doesn't it? Makes loads of sense. Chief Constable John Boucher says bigots and racists are behind 3 nights of rioting in some towns in Northern Ireland, and the disorder is absolutely race motivated. Again, the average Romanian doesn't look like Bill Cosby, okay? If Bill Cosby was diddling kids in Northern Ireland, I think you could claim, possibly, it was about race. I mean, obviously you could also claim that the main reason people are angry is because the kids are getting fiddled, and also if Bill was involved, they're also being fed rum a little bit before they've passed the legal drinking age, but that's by the by. He says 41 officers have been injured, while 13 people have been arrested over the riots, and those responsible will be prosecuted. Now let's get to the meat of it, shall we? The disorder began on Monday after a peaceful protest over an alleged sexual assault on a young girl in Ballymena. 2 teenage boys appeared in court on Monday, speaking through a Romanian interpreter. Both deny the charges. So they're lying to you, and they lie and they lie and they contradict themselves in their own story, right? You only have to go down 3 bullet points, but the BBC's assuming that the average Joe Public consumer of news can barely read. That's what they're gambling on. So they think you won't make it that far down. You'll just see the headline and you'll go, oh my God, race hate. No. 2 foreigners diddled a child. And I know this is going to sound a bit weird to the average person that works at the BBC because, they think it's totally normal. That's why Hugh Edwards got covered up for, even though his cherry red arse cheeks had been on every monitor in the British Isles. And they're covered up for Jimmy Savile, and they're covered up for the grooming gangs, and they're a bunch of degenerate perverts. So they think perfectly reasonable to diddle people's kids. But let me just give you a news flash, ladies and gentlemen. Normal working class stiffs, plumbers and bricklayers and bus drivers and window cleaners, they get a little bit tetchy if people finger the kids, all right? I know that's how, I'm just flying off the handle as usual. The Bootneck's got a temper, hasn't he? If you're a middle-class Guardian reader or a left-wing journalist and you see a grown man rogering an infant, you're supposed to just go, well, it takes all sorts. Who are we to tell people that being a minor attracted person's not merely a sexual orientation? Yeah, if you're so open-minded your brains fell out, you think these people are angry just because they're foreign. Yeah. Like everyone's like we've been swamped with 20 million foreigners in the UK for the last 30 years. And it only seems to really be a problem when someone gets their head lopped off in the middle of the road, or little girls get their throats cut by Albanians in parks, or people scatter themselves up the side of the Manchester Evening News Arena in the middle of a pop concert and kill a load of women and kids. The problem isn't the foreign, all right? If Tom Hanks turns up, people want to get his autograph. If a Danish journalist or a Polish writer rocks up in London, there's no problems. People are getting angry because the morons that lord it over us are not vetting the people that move in, and we are getting the dregs of society. I'm sorry, but it's that simple. It's not about racism. It's not about bigotry. It's not about prejudice. It's about kiddie fiddlers, okay? Criminal slime. Muggers and burglars and surprise sex enthusiasts and dirty diddlers and granny stabbers and everything else. That's what's annoying people. Have you ever seen a random Czechoslovakian get accosted on the streets of Northern Ireland for no reason whatsoever? He's just having a pint outside the local pub, and all of a sudden an angry mob with flaming torches want to pull him out into the street and kick him to bits. Has that ever happened in the history of Northern Ireland? Ever? Answers on a postcard. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen a random Czechoslovakian get assaulted for no reason other than the fact he's a bit foreign? No, don't bother. I was kidding. It's a rhetorical question. It's never happened. It's not about prejudice. It's about letting the dregs of society move unmolested to the United Kingdom. That's it. This is a hit job, a smear merchant, a paid activist, a propagandist working for the world's worst state-funded broadcaster. Easy. Boucher continues by praising the police officers that have been injured. Yeah, praise them for getting injured. Well done, lads. You got injured. We stand shoulder to shoulder with you. We are here to protect you. And the bigots and racists will not win the day. And Richard Morgan here tells everyone about racist violence.
The language being used, it was ignorant, it was abhorrent, it was racist.
What was your reaction to it?
I just felt sick to the stomach, actually, to be honest. I actually felt physically sick.
So there you have it. Unending racist violence. Clearly all of the BBC journalists are one-drop purists, and your average Romanian who, looks like this. There he is, Haji. Do you remember Haji? Fantastic player he was. What was it, USA 94 when he impressed everyone? Apparently he's as black as an Alabama crow, that fella. That's why people are angry, because people that look like that moved into Northern Ireland. And it's not because of the kiddie fiddling. It's because they look different. He's in his 60s now. He's got high blood pressure. He's about the same colour as me, isn't he? But apparently, if you object too aggressively to kiddie fiddling, you're a virulent racist. Weirdo. Nobody called you racist when you had to go at Hugh Edwards. Why do the Welsh get so harshly treated? This sounds like prejudice. This is anti-Welsh rhetoric, if you ask me. But what do I know? I'm just a YouTube commenter. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for the day. We all know what's gone on in Ballymena for the last week. We all know who the perpetrators are, and we all know what the problem is. All right. So as I always tell you lot, don't let the powers that be smear you. Don't let them talk down to you. Don't stand for it. Never stand for it. When somebody calls you a name or slurs you, or slurs your town or your community, or calls you a bigot or a racist or a ist or a phobe of any kind, stand up squarely and say, I'm a better man than you, worm. Every time you flick your forked tongue, lies spill across your lips. You are lower than a rattlesnake's ballsack, and you do not have the right to criticise me, my family and my community. Getting angry about kiddie fiddlers is perfectly normal, and the only person around here who's a degenerate is you, because for some reason, innocent children being violated doesn't seem to bother you at all, does it? Why is that? Okay, jog on. Go and join Harriet Harman's nonce-friendly advocacy group and leave the normal people alone, all right? But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm just a bit of a prick. Thanks for liking and sharing as usual. Leave your own comments down there, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.